Congressman, great to see you. So are you satisfied with the House Speaker's reply there, response?
Not at all. I mean, the House of Representatives should be in session. I mean, we have a lot more to do than simply pass a 7-week funding resolution. We have oversight hearings. We have legislation to mark up. I'm the chair of the K-12 Education Subcommittee. We had a hearing just a couple days ago on a very important topic, career technical education, but the hearing didn't happen because we weren't there. So I was a member of the state legislature in the early years of COVID and was very vocal against the decision by Sacramento's leadership to keep our legislature out of session then. For the same reason, I'm being vocal in opposing Speaker Johnson's decision to keep the House of Representatives out of session now. This is about giving the American people the government they're paying for. It's about protecting representative government. And by the way, it's about avoiding the next government shutdown as well, because even if this 7-week funding resolution became law, we've already burned a few of those weeks.
So, I hear what you're saying, and it's hard for you to get in the mind of the House Speaker, but I'm wondering if you could take a guess. Why does the House Speaker find this approach beneficial, and beneficial to whom?
I really don't know. I can't speculate on his motives. I find it very, very puzzling. I mean, because if the idea is that, we're trying to punish Chuck Schumer or the Senate for not passing our version of the continuing resolution, we're really only punishing ourselves, because we have a lot of other things that we could be doing, a lot of other policies that we should be fighting for, hearings that have been planned for weeks or for months, legislation that's now getting backlogged that we're not going to be able to have floor votes on once we get back. And, on top of all of that, it's also just a lot harder for us to actually reach the sort of bipartisan agreement we need to end the shutdown when the House of Representatives isn't even there. And the position that, the Speaker has taken, that under no circumstances will we negotiate in any way, shape, or form, it's actually precisely the opposite of the position that that Republicans took 2 years ago when there was this question of extending the debt ceiling. At that point, the Democrats wanted a clean extension of the debt ceiling, and the Republican position was, no, you need to negotiate with us on policy in order for us to agree to that. So it's hard to see what kind of the consistent principle that is being adhered to here is.
I know you've already, you've said that energy is being wasted on, assigning blame. But at the heart of this U.S. government shutdown is, Democrats do want to extend Obamacare subsidies to help people afford health insurance. The House Speaker and other Republicans have said blame the Democrats on this shutdown. You have called for temporary relief for those who will be impacted. What do you mean specifically?
Well, I don't think there's any one particular, solution that I'm going to insist upon. What I'm saying is this is an issue that a lot of us on both sides of the aisle feel is very important. We don't want to see our constituents get a huge increase in premiums all of a sudden, millions of people. And so I do think there's going to need to be a deal on this issue. And so if we can at least reach sort of the beginning stages of a deal on that now as a potential pathway out of this shutdown, which has been so harmful for people all across the country, I don't know why we wouldn't at least explore that option. But as long as the House of Representatives is canceling its own pre-scheduled sessions week after week after week, we're not going to be able to reach that sort of resolution.
So do you feel that you and other members of Congress who don't like the approach that the House Speaker is taking, do you feel that you are empowered to do something in order to get House members back to work, contrary to the point of view that the House Speaker is delivering?
Well, I did the one thing that I could do, which is I showed up for work in Washington, D.C. Last week. And I don't want to say that other people aren't working, by the way. I know people are doing very important work in their districts. But we have scheduled district work periods. Like, for example, the whole month of August was a district work period. The month of October was supposed to be a work period in D.C. Where we're carrying out legislative business. And now we've had 4 consecutive weeks that have been canceled. And that, as we've discussed, has really upended a lot of things going on. So what I did last week is I said, all right, even if the House isn't in session, I'm going to be here. I've encouraged other people to do so. And there were other people who were in town. And I think that this coming week, you're probably going to see even more people in town. So hopefully that will, try to encourage the Speaker to bring us back the following week at the very latest.
And then I wonder, the 7 million people who showed up for the No Kings protest, do you see that movement will in any way get the attention of whether it's House Speaker Johnson or others who are upholding, embracing the Trump agenda, when 7 million people were on the streets to say they are not in support of the agenda and they want some change?
Well, look, I think anyone, who goes out and expresses their First Amendment right and engages in activism, I applaud that. That's what this country is all about. Obviously, we live at a time when there's fierce disagreements on a whole variety of issues, and I think that the folks who participated have every right to express their views. I do think we've reached a point right now where the political division in this country has really gotten alarmingly high, and I think that the government shutdown is in some sense a manifestation of that. And by the way, just to be clear, I voted against the shutdown. I wish the Senate would pass that short-term CR. I think government shutdowns are an institutional failure of Congress. But the American people, I think, see this as just sort of Congress failing to do its job and a lack of bipartisanship, excessive partisanship reaching peak levels. And I think that, that's one of the biggest problems we face right now as a country, is an unwillingness to find the common ground that we really all ought to share as Americans. So maybe if we can try to find a way to do that right now to end the shutdown, then that'll create some momentum for doing things differently moving forward.
All right, representing the 3rd Congressional District in California, Congressman Kevin Kiley, thanks so much.